Tabasco. The heat hits first, then the vinegar catches up, sharp, tangy, and gone within seconds. 3 years of barrel aging and it still tastes thin. That's the point. Tabasco was never built for heat. It was built to season, the way salt seasons. A few dashes to wake up a plate of eggs, not to set your mouth on fire. Edmund McIlhenny founded the company in 1868 on Avery Island, Louisiana, a salt dome rising out of swampland about 30 miles south of Lafayette. His first commercial run was 658 bottles, sold wholesale at $1 a piece to grocers along the Gulf Coast. 3 ingredients then, 3 ingredients now. The peppers are mashed, mixed with salt, packed into white oak bourbon barrels, and aged for up to 3 years, the same timeline as a decent whiskey. Each barrel top is sealed with salt to protect the mash during fermentation. After aging, the mash is blended with distilled vinegar, stirred for 28 days, strained, and bottled. The sauce is now sold in more than 195 countries. Frank's RedHot. Frank's is mild, 450 Scoville units, less than a fifth of Tabasco's heat. The cayenne gives it a clean, tangy punch with a faint garlic warmth underneath. And at that heat level, it coats food rather than overpowers it. It is what you want when the sauce is the point, not the pain. Jacob Frank founded his tea and spice company in Cincinnati in 1896. In 1917, he partnered with Louisiana pepper farmer Adam Estelet, and by 1920, the first bottle was coming out of Estelet's pickling plant. It sat quietly on diner tables for the next 4 decades. Then, in 1964, Teresa Bellissimo at the Anchor Bar in Buffalo, New York, fried up a batch of chicken wings, tossed them in hot sauce and butter, and sent them out as a late-night snack. Wings were cheap and plentiful. Restaurants used them for stock, not menus. The Anchor Bar has confirmed Frank's was used, though some food historians dispute it. Either way, the buffalo wing made Frank's famous, and Frank's made the buffalo wing what it is. Cholula. Cholula is rounder and earthier than Tabasco or Frank's. 2 types of chili, arbol and Pequin, blended with regional spices and dialed back to around 1,000 Scoville units. The heat is gentle enough that it rarely registers as a challenge. What you notice instead is flavor. A dry, slightly smoky depth that sits underneath rather than on top of food. The sauce was made for 3 generations by the Harrison family in Chapala, Jalisco, before anyone outside Mexico had heard of it. Originally, it was used mostly as an ingredient in sangrita, the spiced tomato drink served alongside tequila, rather than as a table sauce. The woman on the bottle, known as La Chila, is credited with creating the recipe, though the details are disputed. Jose Cuervo spotted its potential and backed its expansion across Mexico. In 1989, it crossed into the United States for the first time, launching in Austin, Texas. McCormick bought it in 2020 and has described its ambition plainly: make Cholula the next ketchup. Valentina. Valentina is thicker than most sauces on this list, closer to a pourable paste than a liquid, with a deep, dried chili flavor and a heat that builds slowly rather than hitting all at once. The yellow label version sits at around 900 Scoville units. The black label roughly doubles that. Neither is punishing. What makes it distinctive is the pepper. Puya chili, a dried variety from Jalisco, slightly hotter and more aromatic than the better-known guajillo. Manuel Maciel Mendez started a hot sauce company in Guadalajara in 1960, naming his first sauce Tamazula after his hometown. When that brand took hold, he created a second sauce and named it after Valentina Ramirez Avitia, a woman who disguised herself as a man to fight in the Mexican Revolution of 1910, rising to the rank of lieutenant before her identity was discovered, and she was expelled from the army. The sauce carries her face on the label. Valentina is now one of the best-selling hot sauces in Mexico, kept on the table the way salt is kept on the table, not as a condiment for special occasions, but as a permanent fixture. Tapatio. Tapatio sits at around 3,000 Scoville units, a touch hotter than Tabasco, similar heat to Cholula, with a garlicky, peppery flavor that is tangy without being sharp. It doesn't have the dried chili depth of Valentina or the vinegar punch of Tabasco. What it has is balance, heat, acid, and garlic in a ratio that works on almost anything. Jose Luis Saavedra Sr. arrived in California from Mexico City and started bottling the sauce in 1971 out of a 750-square-foot warehouse in Maywood, working a day job to keep the operation afloat and bringing his children in at night to label bottles between homework assignments. The sauce launched under the name Cuervo, his wife's maiden name, but he was forced to sell the rights to the Jose Cuervo Tequila Company 4 years later. He landed on Tapatio instead, the word for someone from Guadalajara, where all three of his children were born. The name stuck, so did the sauce. Louisiana-Style hot sauce. This is the template. Aged cayenne peppers, vinegar, salt. Thin, tangy, and mild enough to use freely. The style has its roots in southern Louisiana, where cayenne and vinegar were first combined as a table condiment in the mid-1800s. What followed was a cluster of brands that all launched within a decade of each other. Crystal in New Orleans in 1923, Louisiana Brand in New Iberia in 1928, Texas Pete in Winston-Salem, North Carolina in 1929. The differences between them are subtler than they appear. Crystal leads with pepper, most others lead with vinegar. Texas Pete sits a little hotter, but the DNA is the same across all of them, and across Frank's RedHot, already covered, which belongs to the same family. Together, they defined what hot sauce meant in America for most of the 20th century. Sriracha. Sriracha is garlic-forward and faintly sweet, thicker than most sauces on this list, with a slow-building heat that sits around 2,000 Scoville units. The version most people know is not from Thailand. It is from Los Angeles. The original Sriracha was made in 1949 by Thanom Chakapak, a home cook in the coastal Thai town of Sriracha, who named her sauce after where she lived. David Tran never tasted it. Tran was a Vietnamese refugee of Chinese descent who fled Vietnam in 1979 on a freighter called the Huey Fong, which became the name of his company. He arrived in California in January 1980, and by February was making chili sauce in his kitchen. His version swapped traditional Thai chilies for red jalapenos, which were easier to source locally, and added garlic and sugar. He built Huy Fong Foods into the third best-selling hot sauce in America, without spending a single dollar on advertising. Then, in 2016, a dispute with his pepper farmer of 28 years ended their partnership and triggered years of shortages, leaving a gap that every other brand rushed to fill. Sambal Oelek. Sambal Oelek is what Sriracha looks like before the sugar and garlic go in. The same red chilies, same vinegar, same heat, but stripped back to almost nothing else. What you get is pure raw chili flavor, bright, sharp, and completely unmediated. It sits closer to a paste than a sauce, with visible seeds and a coarse texture that no commercial Sriracha has. Sambal is an Indonesian word of Javanese origin, meaning sauce or paste, and Oelek, the Dutch spelling of the Indonesian ulek, refers to the stone mortar and pestle used to make it. Chilies were brought to the Indonesian archipelago by Portuguese traders in the 16th century, and from there, the practice of grinding them into paste became central to cooking across Indonesia, Malaysia, and much of Southeast Asia. Huy Fong Foods, the same company behind the dominant American Sriracha, produces the most widely sold version in the West. Outside Asia, Sambal Oelek is often used as a cooking ingredient rather than a table sauce. Stirred into stir-fries, noodle broths, and marinades where the rawness of the chili is the point. Harissa. Harissa is thick, dark red, and oily, closer to a paste than any sauce on this list. The heat from dried chilies builds slowly and lingers, and underneath it are caraway, coriander, and garlic. Warm, earthy spices that make it taste more like a cooking base than a condiment. In Tunisia, it functions as both. Chilies are native to the Americas and reached North Africa during the Spanish occupation of Tunisia between 1535 and 1574. The word harissa comes from the Arabic verb harissa, meaning to pound or crush, a reference to how the dried peppers and spices are made. The Cap Bon Peninsula in northeast Tunisia became the center of production, and the city of Naboul its capital. In 2022, UNESCO added Tunisian harissa to its list of intangible cultural heritage, the food world's equivalent of a preservation order. The recipe has not changed in any meaningful way since the 16th century. Peri-Peri. Peri-Peri hits with immediate fruity heat, brighter and more aromatic than most chili sauces, with a citrus sharpness from lemon and a garlicky base that lingers. The bird's eye chili at its core peaks at around 175,000 Scoville units, hotter than anything else covered so far, but the oil and lemon temper it into something you can actually taste rather than just survive. The pepper itself is African. Portuguese explorers encountered it in Mozambique in the 15th century, combined it with lemon, garlic, and vinegar, and carried both the chili and the sauce back through their colonial network. Peri-Peri is the Swahili word for pepper, and the sauce, known as Peri-Peri in Portugal and Mozambique, moved between both cultures for centuries. Most people outside southern Africa first encountered it through Nando's, the chain that Fernando Duarte and Robert Brozen founded in Johannesburg in 1987 after eating at a small Portuguese Mozambican restaurant and buying it on the spot for 80,000 rand. Scotch bonnet sauce. The Scotch bonnet is fruity before it's hot. Notes of apple and apricot that sit underneath a heat reaching between 100,000 and 350,000 Scoville units. That sweetness is what sets it apart from most peppers at this level, and what makes the heat feel like part of the flavor rather than the whole point. The pepper is a close relative of the habanero. Same botanical family, same fruity floral character, shaped differently by centuries of Caribbean cultivation. It became central to Jamaican cooking, anchoring jerk seasoning alongside allspice and thyme, and forms the base of the hot sauces that have been on Caribbean tables for generations. It also traveled east with the Atlantic slave trade, which is why the Scotch bonnet appears today in the cooking of Ghana and Nigeria. Same pepper, different continent, woven into entirely different traditions. Habanero hot sauce. Before the ghost pepper arrived, the habanero was the benchmark for extreme heat, and it remains the standard for hot sauces that want serious fire without losing all flavor. At 100,000 to 350,000 Scoville units, it is close to the Scotch bonnet in heat and shares its tropical fruitiness, though habanero tends to run hotter and slightly more floral. The pepper originated in the Amazon basin and spread north into Mexico, where the Yucatan Peninsula became, and remains, its primary growing region. The name means from Havana. Spanish traders moved it through Cuba so frequently in the 18th century that taxonomists assumed it came from there. In 1999, the Guinness Book of World Records listed it as the world's hottest pepper. It has since been overtaken repeatedly, but habanero-based sauces remain the dominant format for high-heat commercial hot sauce, the level where heat and flavor still coexist. Ghost pepper sauce. In 2007, the ghost pepper became the first chili ever certified above 1 million Scoville heat units, roughly 200 times hotter than Tabasco. The heat doesn't hit immediately. It builds slowly, then settles in and stays. Beneath it is a faint smokiness and a fruity earthiness that newer superhot peppers largely abandoned in pursuit of pure heat. The pepper, known in India as bhut jolokia, comes from the hill states of northeast India, Assam, Nagaland, and Manipur, where it has been cultivated for centuries. The word bhut means ghost in Assamese, likely a reference to how the heat creeps up before it fully arrives. India's Defense Research Laboratory formally measured it in 2000. Guinness certified the record in 2007. The title was taken by the Trinidad Moruga scorpion in 2012, then the Carolina Reaper in 2013. But the ghost pepper remains the name most people reach for when they want to signal genuine danger. Carolina Reaper sauce. The Carolina Reaper averages 1.6 million Scoville units, with peaks above 2.2 million. Hot sauce made from it is almost always heavily diluted. Most commercial bottles sit around 80,000 to 90,000 SHU once vinegar, fruit, and other ingredients are factored in. Even then, it is not for casual use. The pepper itself has a brief window of fruity sweetness, something almost tropical, before the heat shuts everything else down. Ed Curry of the Pucker Butt Pepper Company in Fort Mill, South Carolina, spent over a decade crossbreeding a Pakistani Naga pepper with a red habanero from St. Vincent. The result was certified by Winthrop University and awarded the Guinness World Record in 2013. Curry lost the title in 2023 to his own next creation, Pepper X, which measured 2.69 million Scoville units, nearly 3 times the heat of the Reaper. Zhug. Zhug is green, herby, and startlingly fresh, closer to a blitzed herb sauce than anything else on this list. Cilantro and parsley dominate, with green chili heat cutting through underneath and warm spices, cumin, coriander, cardamom, giving it a depth that stops it from tasting simply like hot chimichurri. The sauce comes from Yemen, where it has been made for centuries under its Arabic name, sahawik. In 1949 and 1950, approximately 50,000 Yemeni Jews were airlifted to Israel in Operation Magic Carpet, and they brought their recipes with them. Zhug took hold in Israeli cuisine and spread from there, first into Middle Eastern diaspora communities, then into the menus of fast casual chains like Kava, which introduced it to a much wider audience. It is now the most prominent Yemeni condiment in the world, known almost entirely by its Hebrew name. Shatta. Where Zhug is herby and green, Shatta is simpler and more direct. fermented red or green chilies, garlic, olive oil, and salt, pounded or blended into a rough paste. The fermentation gives it a low, sour warmth that builds rather than announces itself. It tastes less like a hot sauce and more like something that has been sitting in someone's kitchen for a week, improving. Shatta, the word means spicy in Arabic, is rooted in the Levant, Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan, with a particularly strong presence in Gaza and Egypt. It has no single origin story. It is simply the table condiment of the Eastern Mediterranean, made differently in every household, present at nearly every meal. Unlike most sauces on this list, it is not associated with a brand or a moment of invention. It belongs to a place, not a person.